Hello again, everybody. Ruben Valadez alongside with you here on Eagle Pass Sports Central for some Thursday night football in week 2 of high school football action. The Uvalde Coyotes come in here to Kojal Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium to take on the Winn Mavericks. The Mavericks, after that tough loss last week in the crosstown rivalry against the Eagles, are looking to get back in shape here against the visiting Uvalde Coyotes. The Coyotes coming off of a victory in week 1. They come in at 1-0. They beat Carrizo Springs 28-22 last week. And now the Coyotes come in here to Eagle Pass looking to remain undefeated. Mavericks will be receiving the kick going from left to right on your screen. As we mentioned to you last week, new rules here at the EPISD. And so for home games for both the Eagles and the Mavericks, there will be no live video streaming. Kickoff is on its way. It's a short one. It's going to be fielded by Rojas at about the 14-yard line, comes all the way here to the near hash mark, making his way through the coverage team still. And the Mavericks are going to have good starting field position at the 32-yard line to start this ball game. Again, as we mentioned, you're listening to us live on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. Audio only. You'll get to see some video via iVision on a delay after the game. But as far as live commentary is concerned, we can only bring you the audio portion of that live here. And so the Mavericks will start from the 32-yard line on the near hash mark. Juan Cruz Jr., the quarterback, awaits the snap from the shotgun. Here's a handoff. Lots of room for the running back right up the middle. He goes across the 40 to the 43 for a first down. Number 24, Edward Hurtado, who had some good running yards last week, gashing through for a Maverick first down at the 43-yard line. Hurtado started the game last week running strong. There was a two-back system towards the end of the game last week for the Maverick offense. Hurtado, though, with a good 12-yard pickup here, 11-yard pickup here to start the game. Cruz in the shotgun, his three receivers here to the near side, and Hurtado on his right. It's a rollout for Cruz. It's a quarterback keeper the whole way. Tries to turn the corner. He's able to do so at the 45-yard line and is finally escorted out of bounds near midfield at the 49. A good 6-yard gain on the quarterback keeper for Cruz. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 now for the Mavericks from the 49-yard line. Thank you so much for joining us here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Ruben Valadez alongside with you here. We're hoping that my usual broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., is able to make it in for this game tonight. In the meantime, the ball is right between the 48 and the 49-yard line on the Mavericks side of the field still. Mavericks wearing their home black and grays with the white helmets and that black Winn logo. 3 receivers to the top side for Cruz. He's going to go to that side, pumps one, still has his eyes downfield, lets the pass go. It is incomplete, batted away by the defender over on that side, on the far side of the field. A pass was intended for Kevin Sugaki, and on the play, junior defensive back Trey Garcia batted that down. And so that's going to bring up now a 3rd and 6 for the Mavericks from the 49-yard line after the incompletion. Mavericks very close to crossing over to the Coyote side of the field. Ball is on the near hash mark. 3 receivers here to the short side for Cruz. Will take the snap, rolls to this side, steps back. Now he's going to slip on the turf, and he'll be sacked back there inside the 40 at the 39-yard line. The turf monster, so to speak, got Juan Cruz Jr. there, and the Coyote defense had nothing to do but come and tap him on the helmet, as, of course, college and high school rules. As soon as the ball handler is down, the play is over. No need to tackle. Just underway here, 7 o'clock kickoff, and Kevin Sugaki will stay in the game to punt this ball off. One man waiting for it at about the 20-yard line. Sugaki's able to get it off high, punt end over end. It'll go out of bounds. Actually, that kicked. It did not go out of bounds, and then kicked back inbounds to the 39-yard line. That is where the Coyotes will start with 10:14 left in the first half, and the Coyotes come out of the field for their first offensive possession of the ball game. Tied, still a scoreless game. Number 4, Jet Flores, senior quarterback for the Coyotes, will start the game in the shotgun with a running back on his right. 2 receivers over to the far side of the field, and one man who's in motion now. Big number 8, Derek De La Cruz, goes across the formation. The handoff is to his running back, who gets across the 40. There are flags on the play from the referee this evening. Early indication is that is a hold. The running back is number 21, Diego Granados. And holding is the call from our official, Paul Nieskern, who heads the officiating crew here today. It's going to cost the Coyotes 10 yards, that penalty will. So they'll go back to the 29-yard line where it'll be 1st and 20 from there. Ball on the near hash mark. Flores in the shotgun, with Rocky Duran in the backfield with him on his left and 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Here's a snap. Quick pass down here to the near side. Caught at the 30-yard line, but the Maverick defense is there immediately to bring down number 3, Zach Velasquez, who made that quick catch out of that flanker spot over here on the left to the near side of us. And that's going to be a gain of only a yard to the 30. It'll bring up 2nd and 19 now for the Coyotes. Ball on the near hash mark. The Coyotes wearing their white tops, away uniforms. The snap, the keeper by Flores, who rolls right. He's looking for someone downfield. Lets the pass go. It's too high for his intended receiver, Derek De La Cruz, number 8. If my partner Morris Lipson Jr. were here, he'd say number 8 makes a heck of a target down there. Big, strong, burly young man coming out of that tight end / wide receiver position, but the ball a little too high from Jet Flores to De La Cruz, and it's going to put the Coyotes in a tough position at 3rd and 19 to go from the 30-yard line. Flores in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops back to pass. Here comes the pressure. They're going to set up a little screen. It's caught at the 30, but down to one knee is the receiver, number 21, Diego Granados. And that'll do it for this drive for the Coyotes. As on comes the punting unit. You've got to hand it to the Maverick defense. They have come out ready to play, swarming so far here in the first possession for the Coyotes. The Maverick defense now has forced a 3 and out, and the Coyotes will punt off. Jaime Rojas waiting for this punt at about his 32-yard line. The punt will come from number 43, Diego Marin, for the Coyotes. Ball will be on the near hash mark. Marin's going to punt this off from about the 20. High kick. Kicks in front of Rojas, and he's going to let that bounce right past him all the way inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Mavericks will start there for their second offensive possession of the drive. We want to welcome all of you joining us on the Eagle Pass Sports Central Facebook page and YouTube channel. And we want to thank our sponsors throughout the season, Ancida Ford of Eagle Pass, Brown Chevrolet of Eagle Pass, and State Representative Eddie Morales for their sponsorship of our prediction shows on a weekly basis. And, of course, these broadcasts. Choch's Barbecue as well has just signed on to be a sponsor here at Eagle Pass Sports Central. 8:09 left in the first quarter, still scoreless, and the Mavericks will start the second drive of the ballgame. They will do so at the 18-yard line. Juan Cruz Jr. in the shotgun, his 3 receivers over to the top side of the field. Mavericks are moving from left to right. Edward Hurtado in the backfield. The handoff goes to him. Hurtado has some room on the left side of the line, crosses the 20, hits to the 25, and brought down finally at the 26-yard line. Both times Edward Hurtado has had the ball in this ball game. He has gained a head of steam, and he's able to barrel through the defense and gain some good yardage. This time he gets across the 25 to the 26-yard line, where it will be a 2nd and 3, just about halfway through the first quarter here at Kozel Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. Easy for me to say. Parents' night tonight here at the SAC for the Mavericks. On a 2nd and 3, Cruz takes the snap. It's a keeper coming to the near side. He's got the first down at the 30 and is brought down as he reaches the 32-yard line. A 6-yard quarterback run gets the Mavericks a first down, their first down of the ball game. Ball is on the near hash mark as the Mavericks try to move their way downfield. First and 10 from the 32 in their own territory, but the Mavericks on the move here. Cruz will take the snap, rolls to his left, looking downfield, looking to pass. Now he'll little shovel pass there to a man coming close to him. The pass is caught over on the far side of the field. That's number 13, Angel Espinosa, and Espinosa slides down as he catches that across the 35 to the 37. A 5-yard gain. And you've got to hand it there to Cruz to keep his presence of mind. He was about to run with it. No one opened downfield. And then Espinosa did the right thing. He came toward his quarterback, allowing Cruz to just shovel that forward and get 5 yards on that broken play. Now ball on the far hash mark. Here's a handoff again to Hurtado, trying to pick his way through the defense. He's going to be pushed back for a loss of about a yard to the 36 now. Wally Flores, junior linebacker, was there to plug up the hole and meet Hurtado for a loss of a yard to the 36. And now it's going to be a 3rd and 6 for the Mavericks. Ball on the far hash mark at the 36-yard line. 3 receivers down here to the near side, the wide side of the formation. High snap. Cruz is able to get it down. Steps up in the pocket. Lets a pass go. It's tipped and then incomplete. Falls incomplete at about the 47-yard line. Cruz was facing a huge rush there. The Coyotes brought just about everybody, but he was able to, again, keep his cool, step up in the pocket. And he did have an open receiver downfield. Just wasn't able to get it over the outstretched hands of one of the defensive backs who tipped that and put that down on the ground. So on the incompletion, that makes it a 4th down, and the Mavericks, again, will have to punt. Kevin Sugaki back there, ball on the far hash mark. And a man back here to receive for the Coyotes at about the 25. Still scoreless. Sugaki with the punt. It's a good one, end over end, and it's going to be fielded at the 28-yard line. Still on his feet is the returner, Granados. Granados still on his feet and finally brought down as he approaches the 45-yard line. Good open field tackle over on the far side of the field by number 44, Joaquin Velasquez, for the Maverick coverage team. But good starting field position for the Coyotes here at the 44-yard line over on the far side on the far hash mark. We have got 5:04 left in the first quarter. Still scoreless between the Coyotes and the Mavericks. Of course, the NFL season opens tonight, and it opens up with a big one as the Cowboys meet the Eagles. Here's a run. About a 3-yard gain for the running back. Number 26, or number 25, rather, Rocky Duran. Humberto Munoz with the tackle. down at the 47-yard line. 3-yard gain there. It'll be 2nd and 7 now for the Coyotes. Ball on the far hash mark. Jet Flores in the backfield in the shotgun formation. Has 3 receivers here to the near side. 1 split out wide far right. Little swing pass now to Duran on the left flat. Duran makes the catch. Tries to get past the Maverick defense. They will only give up about 1.5 yards. We've seen the Maverick defense already in this game show something different than they showed last week. They're really playing with fire, running to the ball. We heard Coach Hoffman in the prediction show yesterday tell us that they really have to have a good assignment and good pressure, and they've done that so far. This ball is at the 49-yard line. That was a 2-yard gain on the little swing pass to Duran. And so now this is a 3rd and 5. No one in the backfield along with Flores. 5 men across the formation. Flores rolls right, looking downfield. Here's the pass. It's incomplete, intended for the wide receiver, Derek De La Cruz, over on the far side of the field. And the Mavericks again. Is there a flag on the play? There's a flag down there. If there is, this looks like there's an ineligible receiver downfield. The Mavericks will decline the penalty. They'll take the result of the play, which is an incompletion. We don't have the official call yet from our referee. I think they're still trying to sort out what the penalty was. It was thrown by the line judge down here on the near side. There's the ineligible receiver call by our referee, Paul Nieskern. The Mavericks will decline that penalty, and so it will be now a 4th and 5, and the Coyote offense is staying on the field after that incompletion on 4th down. From the 49-yard line, Flores in the shotgun, rolls to his right. They're going to call the play dead as the Mavericks have called their first timeout of the half after seeing that formation. 3:40 left here in the first quarter, still scoreless. The Mavericks have just called the timeout. When we come back, the Uvalde Coyotes will have a 4th and 5. Fourth and 5 for the Coyotes from the 49-yard line. And now it is a pooch punt by the quarterback, Jet Flores, and it's rolling inside the 5, and it will be down there. So the Coyotes had that Maverick defense concerned. They called the timeout, came back in a defensive formation with no return man ready for the punt. And all Jet Flores did was take that snap, pooch it, and did an amazing job of pinning the Mavericks back here inside the 5. And in games like this, that turn of field position is critical. Unless the Mavericks can get some breathing room here and really make some inroads during this, their 3rd offensive drive of the ball game. Ball is at the 3-yard line, believe it or not. Mavericks, we get to pull this one out in the shadow of their own goalpost. At the 3, ball on the far hash mark. 2 receivers here to the near side of the formation. Tight formation in front of the quarterback and the running back, Edward Hurtado. Hurtado gets the carry, and he will be stopped for no gain at the 3-yard line. It's going to be a 2nd and 10. Again, very near that goal line for the Mavericks over on the far hash mark. 3:10 left in the first quarter. Thank you for joining us here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. We've talked to several of you out and about last week who listened in for our first game of the season, and we thank you again for joining us tonight. We will be here tomorrow to bring you the action between the Taft Raiders and the Eagles. Munoz standing about 2 yards deep in his own end zone, awaits this snap. There it is, the handoff again to Hurtado, and the Coyote defense is right there. A loss of a yard back to the 2. Hurtado, the first 2 times he touched the ball today, was able to find lanes through that Coyote defense. All of a sudden, the defensive line and the linebackers for the Coyotes are really knifing through and moving the line of scrimmage back into the face of the running back. Third and 11 now from the 2-yard line for the Mavericks. Cruz into shotgun in his own end zone, awaits the snap. Here comes the blitz. The handoff is to Hurtado. He spins around after first contact. He ended up in the end zone, but this won't be a safety. They'll mark forward progress stopped at the 1. So a loss on 3 consecutive plays there for the Mavericks. And a quick 3 and out, and this is what we were talking about just before. What you've done, if you're the Uvalde Coyotes, if you've just switched the field, you flipped the field, and the Coyotes are going to get this ball back in Maverick territory. Kevin Sugaki is standing at about 9.5 yards deep in his own end zone to take this snap with 1:20 left in the first quarter. Diego Granados awaits the punt. Sugaki does a good job of getting it off. Granados fields it at the 30, and he's got a full head of steam, gets around a couple of tacklers, and is finally brought down at the 23, 21-yard line, it looks like. But boy, oh boy, that the Coyotes do a good job of flipping the field. They are now going to start at the Maverick 21-yard line, deep in Maverick territory with 1:06 left in the first quarter. And boy, if this Maverick defense has come up big twice already in this game, it is now being called upon to do a very, very tough task of defending this compressed field as the Coyotes start from their own 21-yard line. Here's an end around to Granados, trying to find some room. The Maverick defense trying to string him out, but he's able to turn the corner as he crosses the 15. They're going to step him out of bounds at the 13-yard line, it looks like. An 8-yard gain there for Granados, and it'll be a 2nd and 2 now. Again, when the field becomes compressed this way, it's really difficult to defend, especially on running plays like that use the width of the field for their advantage. Here is Flores in the shotgun, rolls to his left, little option play. There's the pitch to Rocky Duran. Duran takes that pitch at about the 10-yard line, goes into the end zone for the touchdown, but there is a flag at about the 8. This might be a hold right as Duran. Boy, they ran this option play really precisely. You don't see a lot of option running anymore these days, especially not like that. But Flores and Duran ran that really well. Duran ended up in the end zone, as we say. And it was called a touchdown, but it looks like it's going to be a block in the back that's going to set this back. They're going to take the touchdown off the board. There's a block in the back called by our referee. It'll be from the spot of the foul, 10 yards from there. So we're going to see where this ball ends up after the penalty. And it looks like they're stepping it off for maybe about the 8 or 9. Well, looks like they stepped it off from about the 3, I guess, because this is going to end up at the 13 after the penalty, where it'll be a 2nd and about 2 for the Coyotes. Here's Flores rolling out, finds his target. The big man gets away from 1 tackle. Still, it takes about 3 guys to get big Derek De La Cruz down over on the far side of the field, but is able to get inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Little roll-out, sprint-out pass by Jet Flores. Looked up and had this big target, Derek De La Cruz, right in front of him, was able to pass to him, and then De La Cruz shook off a defender easily until 3 more Mavericks were able to make it down there to push him out of bounds. Here's a 1st and goal now for the Coyotes at the 4-yard line. Tight formation. The snap is to number 2. Jared Martinez, senior running back, and Martinez scampers into the end zone over the right end for the first touchdown of the ball game, and the Coyotes are on the board with 16 seconds left in the first quarter. First time we've seen Jared Martinez touch the ball. Direct snap to him, and he was able to find the end zone on the right side of the line. Diego Marin will step in for the point after attempt. The kick is on its way, and it is good. So the Coyotes strike first here with 16 seconds left in the first quarter. 7-0 is the Coyote lead. We're going to step away very quick and be right back. With 16 seconds left in the first quarter, the Mavericks will receive this kickoff. Kick is on its way, and it will be fielded on a couple of hops by Bobby Cabrera. Cabrera looking here on the near side for some running room. The Coyote coverage team brings him down at about the 24-yard line. That is where the Mavericks will start with 10 seconds left here in the first quarter. 7-0 is the Coyote lead after that 4-yard touchdown run by Jared Martinez. Ball line of scrimmage is the 24. That's where the Mavericks will start with the ball on the near hash mark. Cruz in the shotgun has a new back with him there. And the handoff is to number 33, Leonardo Vasquez. The sophomore running back is taken down for a loss of 2 yards back to the 22. And that will be the end of the first quarter. We'll take a very quick break while we switch sides of the field. Coyotes 7, Mavericks nothing. At the start of the second quarter, Coyotes up 7-0 on the Mavericks. As we come back, we've switched sides of the field. Mavericks will be moving from right to left now. And they are facing a 2nd and 12 from the 22-yard line. The first couple of possessions here offensively for the Mavericks started well, promising with 2 runs from Edward Hurtado and a couple of good quarterback keepers by Juan Cruz. Ever since then, that Coyote defense has been able to snuff out what the Mavericks are trying to do on offense. Let's see if they can come up with something here on 2nd and 12 from the 22-yard line. Ball on the far hash mark. Mavericks moving from right to left. Cruz awaits the snap. Looks right. Rolling to his right now. He's got a man open downfield. That's Rojas at the 38. And Rojas streaks downfield, finally taken out of bounds over on the far sideline at the 46-yard line. But a great job, again, by Juan Cruz Jr. of staying patient, remaining patient, keeping his eyes downfield, and Rojas was able to go over the top of the coverage, streaking just down that far sideline. Cruz Jr. with a great throw right into his hands, and the Mavericks are in business now on a first down at the 46-yard line. Cruz in the shotgun. The quarterback keeper the whole way, trying to turn the corner, and he's going to go out of bounds for a loss of 2 yards inside the 45 to the 44. Going to be another 2nd and 12. We're at the start of the second quarter here from Cozumel Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Eagles will be here tomorrow as the Taft Raiders come in from San Antonio. The Eagles' second game of the season. Mavericks will come out of the huddle. They've got to hurry to get this snap off. 5 seconds left on the play clock. And I don't know if the Mavericks are going to call a timeout or just take this delay of game penalty. See what our referee has to tell us here. It's a delay of game. The Mavericks couldn't get the ball snap there in time. It's going to cost them 5 more yards. The ball will go to the 39 after the penalty, and it'll be a 2nd and 17 now from there. Ball on the near hash mark. Cruz takes the snap, rolls right again, steps past the pressure again, looking for Rojas. The pass is intercepted at the 48-yard line of the Coyotes. Derek Terrazas with the interception was there in the area on that coverage. A pass that was just out of the reach of Jaime Rojas. And Terrazas comes up with the interception. And on the turnover, again, the Coyotes will start on the Mavericks side of the field at the 39. That's where Terrazas was taken out of bounds over on the far sideline. So with 11:36 left in the first half, the Coyotes will start their drive after the first turnover of the ball game. An interception of Juan Cruz by Derek Terrazas. Jet Flores now with the ball at the 39-yard line. Takes a snap, little toss. Now we're reversed. Now back to the quarterback, and that pass is caught by Granados at about the 5-yard line. Trickeration for the Coyotes as they start this drive. Flores from the quarterback position caught the snap. Little toss over to his running back. The running back tosses it over to a receiver that's coming on an end around that receiver. As he crosses in front of Flores, pitches it back to the quarterback, who's able to find number 21, Diego Granados, down here on the near sideline at about the 6. First and goal for the Coyotes after only one play. Here is Flores with the quarterback keeper rolling left. The Maverick defense is on him. Finally are able to bring him down on this side of the 10 at the 11. A 6-yard sack. Good job of the Maverick defense of keeping their heads on that play and pursuing relentlessly Humberto Munoz, the man who finally brought Flores down. Clock ticks down, under 11 minutes now left in the first half. And the Maverick defense again being called upon to defend a short field. Second and goal from the 11-yard line. Ball on the far hash mark. Here's the snap. Flores, little swing pass over to the left flat. Caught by Duran and brought down immediately at the 5-yard line. The original line of scrimmage. Guess who? Humberto Munoz Jr. there to cover that play and bring down Duran. It's a 3rd and goal now from the 5-yard line. A 6-yard gain on that little swing pass to Rocky Duran to the short side of the field. 3rd and goal from the 5 now for the Coyotes. In again to receive the snap is Jared Martinez, the man who received the snap and ran it in for the touchdown. He'll do the same again, this time on the left side of the line. Gets past a couple of Maverick defenders and into the end zone. I'd say that Jared Martinez is the short yardage specialist for the Coyotes. He's come in twice to receive the snap inside the 5, and both times he's been able to go into the end zone for a touchdown. Not a bad evening so far for Jared Martinez. He's touched the ball twice, and he's been into the end zone twice. We do have a Maverick player, a Maverick defender down on the field over on the far side, being attended to inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line. The athletic trainers will take a look at him, and we will use this time with 10:04 left in the first half, and the Mavericks trailing 13-0 to take a very quick break. On for the point after attempt is Diego Marin for the Coyotes. 13-0 is the Coyote lead with about 10 minutes left. Here's a low snap picked up by the holder, though, and through the uprights is the point after attempt. 14-0 now is the Coyote lead with 10:04 left in the second quarter. When we come back, the Mavericks will try to get something going on offense here early still in the second quarter. The good news at this hour is that the Cowboys are up, 7-0 in Philadelphia, going in to visit the defending Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles. Here at the sack, 14-0 is the Coyote lead over the Mavericks. Long kickoff, fielded by Bobby Cabrera inside the 10, comes to the middle of the field, gets past a couple of defenders. He's got room in front of him, only the kicker to beat. There goes Bobby Cabrera on a 90-yard touchdown return. No flags back here. The touchdown is good, and the Mavericks are on the board in a spectacular way. Bobby Cabrera fielding that kickoff at about his own 10-yard line. In fact, inside the 10 at about the 9, cut to the middle of the field, got past that first wave, cut right to the top of the field, and then the only man to beat was Luis de la Cruz Reina, the kicker. Bobby Cabrera turning the tide here and giving the Mavericks some much-needed momentum. With 9:48 left in the first half, the Mavericks are on the board. Kevin Sugaki comes on for the point after attempt. Boy, Bobby Cabrera has just been waiting to cut one loose for the past couple of years from that return position for the Mavericks. Here's the snap. The kick is on its way, and it is good. And the Mavericks have cut the Coyote lead in half just like that, with 9:48 left in the second quarter. The Mavericks are on the board. 14-7 is the Coyote lead. We're going to step away real quick. Bobby Cabrera has just lit a fire under the Mavericks and under this home crowd here on Parents' Night. A 90-yard degree kickoff return for a touchdown. 99-yard kickoff return, 91-yard kickoff return. I'm going to get that right eventually. They're not degrees, they're yards, but what a hot day it was today. That's why degrees are on my mind. Kickoff is fielded by the Coyotes on a short kickoff, and the Coyotes will start at their own 31-yard line with 9:42 left in the second quarter. And if the Maverick defense, for the first time starting with good field position defensively, is able to push back the Coyotes, maybe the Mavericks can flip the field this time and get some good field position for their offense. Handoff is to Duran, who tries the left side of the line, and he's pushed back after a gain of only a couple of yards to the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage was a 29. And so it's a 2nd and 8 for the Coyotes after that run by Rocky Duran. Ball on the far hash mark. 9:19 and counting left here in the first half. The Mavericks are on the board. 14-7 is the Coyote lead for now, but the Maverick defense trying to shut them down. There is the snap. Keeper right up the middle goes Jet Flores, and he's got room at the 40-45. Finally tripped up as he crosses the 45 to the 47-yard line. Flores with the quarterback draw. It was a run the whole way, and he was able to pick through that Maverick defense and make it all the way across the 45 here to the 47-yard line. A 16-yard gain on the ground for Jet Flores and the Coyotes, and they have a first down at their own 47. Ball on the near hash mark. 3 receivers go out to the far side of the field. 1 man down here split out wide right. Coyotes going from left to right. Here's a little pitch again to Duran. Only 1 man there to defend it, and Duran is able to get past that defender and able to get a first down before being pushed out of bounds on the far side of the field at the 42-yard line. Another first down. That's the second time that option play to the left side of the offensive formation to the right side of the Maverick defense has worked. Once it worked for a touchdown that got called back and a push in the back. This time, Duran is able to take the pitch and run for a first down. From the 42-yard line now in Maverick territory with about 8.5 minutes left. Here come the Coyotes. Fake the end around. Flores steps up. Has his target, De La Cruz, at about the 35-yard line. And I got to tell you, once Derek De La Cruz gets a hold of the ball, it's a challenge to bring him down. That big fella rumbles once he gets the ball in his hand. And this time he's able to get the Coyotes another first down to the 29-yard line. The Coyotes just gobbling up yards here in this possession. 8:06 left from the Maverick 29-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Coyotes. Here's a straight handoff to Rocky Duran, who's trying the right side of the line. Finally gets north and south and is able to get inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. A 5-yard gain for Duran on the handoff there. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 5. Ball right in between the 2 hash marks. The Thundering Maverick band already down on the field on the southern end zone, going through their pre-halftime warm-up. 7.5 minutes left here in the second quarter. The Maverick defense trying to contain the damage and not allow the Coyotes any more points on the board. Flores is going to be in the shotgun. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Looks left the whole way. There's the pass. It's caught by Granados coming across the formation. Granados makes the catch at about the 15 and then turns southward and is finally brought down close to the 10 at the 11-yard line. A 13-yard gain there for Granados is good enough for a Coyote first down at the 11. They can still get a first down at the 1 with 7:05 left in the second quarter, and the Maverick defense on their heels. Flores looks left, looks right. Now he's going to throw it to the far pylon on the left side, the top side of the field, and it falls incomplete way over the head of his intended receiver over on that side. Jonathan Fudge over on that far side. 2nd and 10 now for the Coyotes from the 11-yard line after that incompletion. And the Mavericks hoping to force a stop here and at least force the Coyotes to attempt a field goal. Ball on the far hash mark. The ball is at the 6-yard line, where it's a first down. Flores, quick swing pass to Rocky Duran, who catches it in the left flat and then goes straight into the end zone for another Coyote touchdown. This one comes with 6:45 left in the first quarter, or in the first half, rather. 20-7 is the score for now, with Diego Marin coming in to attempt the point after. Coyotes, one of these teams that use different kickers for place kicking and for extra points and field goals. Marin with the extra point here. That is tipped. Good job by the Mavericks special teams, and the kick is no good. So the score remains 20-7 after that touchdown catch by Rocky Duran. 6:45 left in the first half. Mavericks will be on offense again when we come back. Bobby Cabrera again. Fielded at the 15. Bobby Cabrera trying to recapture the magic from his last touchdown. It's a good 15-yard return to the 30-yard line. The Mavericks will start there with 6:38 left in the first half. 20-7 is the Coyote lead, and the Maverick offense will try to get something going here. The score in Philly is tied at 7 between the Cowboys and the Eagles. We'll get you some scores from around the area as well, too. And, of course, we've got an exciting weekend of college football action as well. 6:38 left in the first half. And the Maverick offense will come to the 30-yard line. Juan Cruz in the shotgun. Puts Rojas in motion, has Leonardo Vasquez in the backfield with him. The handoff is to Vasquez, who bounces left. He's got some running room. He can get past the defender at the 35, at the 40, puts his head down, and finally taken out of bounds at the 42-yard line. A 12-yard gain on that carry for Leonardo Vasquez. And Vasquez gets the Mavericks a first down at the 42. Clock stops as Vasquez headed out of bounds here on the near sideline with 6:31, about 6.5 minutes left here in the first half. Parents' night tonight for the football players, cheerleaders, athletic trainers, managers. Pre-game, lots of family members were able to walk onto the field with their seniors. Here's Juan Cruz in the shotgun, takes a snap, little toss to Velasquez. And Velasquez has running room at the 45, still on his feet. Tough running by the sophomore back. Looks like the Mavericks have got a good change of pace there between Edward Hurtado and Velasquez, or Leonardo Vasquez, rather. And this ball is at the 48, a 6-yard gain for Vasquez, who's had the ball twice now on this drive. Ball will be on the far hash mark. 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Cruz in the huddle, calling out the plays. Here come the Mavericks to the line of scrimmage, their own 48, looking to get into Coyote territory. 2nd and 4. Cruz again, the handoff to Vasquez. This time he comes this way, and this time he will not be able to turn the corner as he's brought down before he's able to turn north and south by number 47, Gavin Torres for the Coyotes. A loss of actually no gain there. They'll bring him back to the 47. So a loss of a yard. We'll make it 3rd and 5 now. And the Coyotes had seen just about enough of Jonathan Vasquez and were able to bring him down as he tried to turn the corner on the left flat here to the near side of us. 5:12 left in the first half. Mavericks have a very crucial 3rd and 5. They have to convert here. Cruz steps back, steps in the pocket. That's a long pass go. He's got Cabrera in the area, overthrown. That's actually not Bobby Cabrera. That's Angel Espinosa streaking up the far hash mark. And he had about a step on his defender, but that pass from Cruz was just a bit overthrown over the head of Espinosa. And that incompletion brings up a 4th and 5 from the 47, and Kevin Sugaki will come on to punt. Diego Granados is back to return the punt to await this at his own 20-yard line on the near hash mark. Just under 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. 4:58 showing on the clock. Mavericks are down 20-7. Here comes this punt from Sugaki. It's a good one. Granados is going to be able to field that right at the 20, and he's got a lot of room on the left side. Now heads to the far side of the field, 35, 40. There's a flag that comes flying from the back judge, and this is probably going to come back right around the area. Maybe they saw this hold maybe around the 40 as Granados was trying to head upfield over on the far side of the field. There's another flag at the 46-yard line in Maverick territory. So we have 2 flags on the play, and I'm wondering if both officials saw the same thing, maybe a block in the back or a hold as Granados tried to get north and south over on the far side of the field. The officials will continue to talk about this. We've got 4:44 left in the first quarter. Mavericks are down 20-7. They'll only score an amazing 91-yard kickoff return by Bobby Cabrera, who we've seen returning kicks since last year. I'll give a shout out and recognition to all of the men and women of the Eagle Pass ISD Police Department for the work that they put in and day out on the campuses across the district, securing the safety of our kids. I want to thank all of the men and women in blue for the EPISD and all of our law enforcement men and women who are listening to us tonight. This penalty will put the Coyotes inside the 25. They'll start at the 24-yard line. 4:44 left here in the first half. And this Coyote offense on a 7-play, almost 70-yard, 71-yard drive, really showed some versatility. Here comes Duran with a run on the right side of the line, and he'll put his head down as he crosses the 30 to get to the 32. An 8-yard gain there for Rocky Duran. It's going to be a 2nd and 2 now for the Coyotes. 4:19 left in the first half. Granados comes into the backfield as a decoy. The handoff is straight ahead. Rocky Granados bowls over the official at about the 42 and gets a first down at the 47-yard line. They're going to have to take a look at this official who was just in Rocky Duran's way. And boy, Duran, I don't know if he thought it was an extra defender or what, but he just put his head down and bowled straight over him, put him on his rear end. Rocky Duran running with purpose for the Coyotes. First down at the 47-yard line. A 15-yard gain for the Coyotes on the ground. 4:03 left in the first half. And this Coyote offense still trying to move the ball and get some more points on the board. Again, Granados in the backfield as a decoy. The handoff again is to Rocky Duran, who's got a big convoy in front of him. Big number 75, Joshua Machuca, the junior offensive lineman, just clearing a path for Rocky Duran, who's gobbling up yards on this drive by the bunch. Here's to the 41-yard line now, another first down. And this offensive line for the Coyotes really starting to take over late in the first half here. 3.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Flores with the snap, quick pass, caught, and then a lateral to Duran, and Duran takes that all the way inside the 30 to the 28. Hey, the old hook and ladder, we haven't seen that play come out in a while. Caught first on the far side of the field by Joshua Castillo, I think, and then lateraled back to Duran, who was following the play. So Rocky Duran really inflicting some damage on this Maverick defense late in the first half. Ball's at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Coyotes from there. Ball on the far hash mark. Here comes Granados in motion. The flip is to him as he comes to the near side, and he's got a convoy in front of him as he tries to turn the corner, and he's able to do so at the 20 before being pushed out of bounds right at they're going to actually mark him out of bounds right at the 20-yard line, an 8-yard gain on that little carry. Now the Coyotes are using the width of the field to really run this Maverick defense ragged on a hot evening here in Eagle Pass, Maverick County. And the Coyotes have this Maverick defense on their heels. Ball is at the 21, actually. 1st and 10, 2nd and 2, rather, for the Coyotes from there. Here's a keeper for Flores looking for blockers in front of them. Good job of that offensive line. Number 30 there, Sebastian Ibarra, was able to latch on to Flores as he was passing by him after he beat his block. And no gain there to the 20-yard line, maybe a 1-yard gain. Goes the quarterback Flores, and it's going to be a 3rd and 2 from the 20 now for the Coyotes. 2:50 left in the first half. Mavericks are down 20-7, and the Maverick defense trying to stop this Coyote offense from putting up any more points on the board before the end of the half. The Coyotes will get the ball first at the start of the second half. Man in motion across the formation. He's there to block for Rocky Duran, who bounces left. The ball's on the ground. It's a fumble. Let's see if the Mavericks can fall on top of it. At about the 20-yard line, the Coyotes are able to recover. Duran headed into the left side of the line, and as he bounced around defenders, that ball came loose, and it was loose on the ground for a while. But big number 66, Adam Barbosa, was able to fall on it for the Coyotes, who now have a 4th and 2 from the 20, and their offense will remain on the field with 2 minutes left in the first half. We will take the 2-minute timeout. Mavericks are down 20-7. We're going to take a quick break. The Coyotes have a 4th and 2, and guess who's on the field? Jared Martinez, their short yardage quarterback. He'll take the snap, looks for some room on the left side. He's got it, and he's able to get the first down before being brought down at the 15-yard line. And that's going to be a first down for the Mavericks. Jared Martinez has come in 3 times to this ball game. Twice he scored a touchdown, and he was just able to convert on a 4th and 2 there for the Coyotes. Again, a tight formation. Jet Flores, though, the quarterback. Actually, it's a straight snap to Rocky Duran, who's got the right side of the line and almost into the end zone, twisted down about 2 yards shy to the 2. A 13-yard scamper for Rocky Duran, who took that snap directly on a tight formation. Someone is down at about the 5 for the Coyotes. They're going to take a look at him. I believe it's one of the offensive linemen down there. 20-7 is the Coyote lead over the Mavericks. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. A minute 32 left in the first half. And the Maverick defense trying to defend from the 2-yard line. A full backfield. Rocky Duran again will take the snap. Finds some blockers on the right side of the line and barrels in for a 2-yard touchdown run. This one comes with a minute 27 left in the second quarter. 26-7 is the score for now. That's Rocky Duran's second touchdown of the ball game. One as a receiver. This one on a 2-yard rush after taking the snap directly. And Diego Marin comes on for the point after attempt. The kick is on its way, and it is good. 27-7 now is the lead for the Coyotes with a minute 27 left in the first half. When we come back, the Mavericks will have the ball. Luis de la Cruz Reina will kick this off for the Coyotes. 3 men back to receive for the Mavericks. De la Reina was getting ready, or De la Cruz Reina rather, was getting ready to run towards this ball and was stopped. Line drive fielded by Bobby Cabrera at the 11. Has to pick it up off the ground. If he can get past this first wave, he might be in business, but just an arm tackle. And Cabrera is down at the 27. The Mavericks will start from there with a minute 20 left in the first half. Again, the Mavericks open the game by receiving the opening kickoff, and so the Coyotes will receive and have the ball first for the second half. And if the Mavericks want to close this 20-yard gap, they have a minute and 20 seconds and 2 timeouts with which to do it here at Coastal Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. Here's a handoff. 20-point gap. 27-7 is the lead. Aaron Rodriguez with his first carry of the ball game. And Rodriguez gets a couple of yards to the 29. And it looks like the Mavericks are in no particular hurry to get the ball into the end zone here with 46 seconds left in the first half. The Mavericks do have 2 timeouts. The handoff to Vasquez. He's got some room here, but he is spun around and stopped. A good open field tackle by Wally Flores, who's been all over the field from his linebacker position. Only a gain of a yard to the 30 for Vasquez, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 now for the Mavericks, who might not have to snap the ball again in this first half, as there is about 5-second differential between the game clock and the play clock, and we'll see if the Mavericks do indeed snap this ball to end the first half. Bobby Cabrera takes the snap, looks left, lets the pass go. Sugaki streaking down the sideline just over the outstretched arms. That will be, though, the last play of the first half. 27-7 is the Coyote lead, as the Mavericks will go into the locker room and try to make adjustments to come out and face this Coyote onslaught. It was actually a close game for a while here to start, but the last 3 offensive possessions for the Coyotes, they really were able to diversify and get the Maverick defense on their heels. We want to thank our sponsors before we go into halftime. Brown Chevrolet of Eagle Pass, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, State Representative Eddie Morales, and Choch's Barbecue for the sponsorship of these broadcasts. 27-7 is a Coyote lead. We want to thank all of you for joining us here on Eagle Pass Sports Central, on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. We'll be back for the second half. And we are back live with you for the start of the second half. Mavericks are down 27-7 against the Uvalde Coyotes. The Coyotes will receive to open up this second half. Mavericks will defend the south end zone, moving from right to left on the field as we look here from the press box atop Kojo Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. Mavericks looking tonight to get their season to 1-1, and they're going to have to climb out of a 20-point hole to do it. Kevin Sugaki will kick off. And that kick is on its way, fielded by Duran at about the 25-yard line, and he makes it all the way across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Rocky Duran, who caused all sorts of havoc for the Mavericks in the first half. With that return, and the second half will start with the Coyotes at the 37-yard line. Flores in the shotgun with two receivers on either side of the formation. Low snap, picks it up, quick pass, caught, and immediately downed is the wide receiver Jonathan Fudge, brought down after a gain of only a couple of yards to the 39. Humberto Munoz Jr., as almost always with that tackle, did a great job of corralling Fudge and not allowing him more than the 2 yards right where he caught the ball at the 39. 2nd and 8 now for the Coyotes. Flores in the shotgun. Pass is caught by Granados at the 39, then gets north and south up the near hash mark. He'll be brought down at the 42-yard line. A 3-yard gain there. Julian Perez with the sure tackle. And the Coyotes have come out over the air. 2 passes to start the second half for the Coyotes. And now they face a 3rd and 5 from the 42-yard line. Flores in the shotgun. Here's that option play, the pitch to Rocky Duran. No one's on that side of the field. And Duran has room to roam over on the far sideline and into Maverick territory. It'll be a first down at the 46. They've run that option exactly the same way to the exact same side of the formation 3 different times. Now, the first time it cost them a touchdown that was called back, but it is working effectively for the Coyotes as the Mavericks are caught off guard on that option run. 1st and 10 for the Coyotes from the 46. And Duran again with the handoff. We'll get a yard to the 45. It'll be interesting to see how many yards Rocky Duran has amassed today, as he has been the workhorse for the Coyotes. They're going to say no gain here, and they'll mark him down at the 46, the line of scrimmage. The 2nd and 10 for the Coyotes from there. Try to get you some scores from around the area later on in this half. Second and 10, the handoff again to Duran, who gets past the initial wall of defenders for the Mavericks, and then is brought down by the linebackers at second level at the 42-yard line. Gain of 4 on the carry. Of course, the Coyotes not in a hurry up, in no particular hurry, with a 20-point lead to do anything here in the third quarter. Flores on a 3rd and 7, takes the snap, looks left, clean pocket, steps up now. He's got a man wide open. Diego Granados makes that catch at the 10 and then runs in a straight line into the end zone for the Coyote touchdown. Granados blew the top off that Maverick defense. A clean pocket for Flores to step up into, and Granados had a good 5 or 6 steps on the nearest defender over the top. And it is another Coyote touchdown with 9:01 left in the third quarter. Diego Marin on for the point after attempt. The kick is on its way, and it is good. 34-7 now is the score. With 9:01 left in the third quarter, Coyotes have lengthened their lead, and we'll be right back. Here's Luis de la Cruz Reina with the kickoff after that touchdown. It's going to be fielded by Bobby Cabrera at the 21-yard line, looking for room. Right up the middle he goes, across the 35. Finally brought down at the 38-yard line. And Cabrera, who's got the only Maverick touchdown of the evening, has set up the Maverick offense in good field position at the 38-yard line with 8:54 showing here in the second quarter. Well, for the Maverick offense, we'll see if they've made any adjustments during the half. Their success has come mostly from a duo of running backs. Edward Hurtado to start the ball game, and Leonardo Vasquez, who had some good runs there in the first half as well. We'll see what they do here. Juan Cruz Jr. into shotgun, takes the snap. Quick pass over to the right flat, caught at the 35-yard line, and up the field goes the receiver. Hard hit as he's brought down. That's Kevin Sugaki with the reception, and he gets to the 41-yard line. A 3-yard gain. Going to be 2nd and 7 coming up here for the Mavericks, who again, at this point, just need some ball control so as to keep the ball away from that Coyote offense, which has been explosive in this game and really exploded to start the second half. A 42-yard touchdown pass from Jet Flores to Diego Granados. 2nd and 7, quick toss over to this side to Edward Hurtado, and Hurtado is able to get the Mavericks a first down to the 48. A 7-yard gain on a little toss to the left flat for Hurtado. Gets the Mavericks a much-needed first down here early on in the second half. 7:51 left in the third quarter. There was some question as to whether they would need a measurement down there. The referee comes in right at the 48-yard line and signals that the Mavericks do indeed have a first down. 34-7 is the Coyote lead over the Mavericks. Ball is on the left hash mark here to the near side. Cruz in the shotgun, takes a snap. Here comes the blitz. Quick pass caught over on the far side by Jaime Rojas, who takes the ball and streaks up the far sideline before being pushed out of bounds near the 40 at about the 41-yard line. Looks like they will give him the 41. And that's another first down for the Mavericks, who are now in Coyote territory. So what do we see that's a little different? Well, they're getting the ball out of Juan Cruz Jr.'s hands quickly now. We've seen 2 quick passes over to the right side of the offensive formation, and it's worked. They're using that aggressiveness of the Coyote defense in their favor, beating that blitz. And this last time, it looked like an almost all-out blitz. quick pass to Rojas to get them the first down. Ball's at the 41-yard line now in Coyote territory, and Cruz had problems handling the snap. All he can do is fall on top of it back at the 45, a 4-yard loss on the sack. Juan Cruz Jr., I think, was looking up to see where his blocking was going to develop, and was not able to get a hold of that snap cleanly. The ball ended up on the ground. Cruz was able to fall on top of it after a loss of 4 yards. 2nd and 14 now for the Mavericks from the Coyote 45-yard line. 2 receivers here to the near side. Cruz in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks left, quick pass that way. It's caught by Rojas at the 41, and he's dropped there immediately. A line inside the original line of scrimmage, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 now for the Mavericks. 3rd and 10. They're placing that ball at the 41. That's where the original line of scrimmage was. 3rd down and 10 for the Mavericks with the ball at the 41-yard line on the near hash mark. 6:07 remaining in the third quarter, and the Mavericks looking to convert on this 3rd down. You've got to think if they get enough yardage here, this is 4-down territory just to keep the ball again out of the Coyote offense. High snap for Cruz. He brings it down, rolls right, looking for a receiver open, still looking for somebody. There's a pass, and it's caught by Jaime Rojas on the far sideline, tiptoeing in, just barely keeping his feet in bounds at the 26-yard line. An outstanding throw. That was an excellent job by Juan Cruz of keeping that ball in his grasp for as long as he possibly could before releasing it, and Jaime Rojas was right there to receive it and then fell out of bounds, but not before putting at least a foot down in bounds at the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks from there. Ball on the far hash mark. Mavericks moving from right to left. Cruz in the shotgun, takes the snap. Here comes the defense on him quickly. Rolls left. He's going to keep it himself. He's at the 25 and runs out of bounds here on the near sideline just before reaching the 20 to the 22. That'll be a 4-yard gain on that carry for Cruz. 5:39 left. Clocks has stopped because Cruz went out of bounds. There was also an injury on the far side of the field to a Coyote defender, but he was able to go off the field under his own power. 2nd and 6 now for the Mavericks from the 22-yard line, deep in Coyote territory. Ball on the near hash mark. Cruz is in the shotgun with Hurtado on his right and 2 receivers out to the right of the formation. There's a snap. It's a keeper the whole way. Cruz turns a corner, goes around end, has room over on the far side, and is able to get the first down before he runs out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. We've got a little scuffle over on the far side of the field that's cleared up quickly, and Muñoz's teammates will go over there and gather him, make sure he's okay, and bring him back onto the field. But it's another Maverick first down at the 15-yard line, and this is a good, balanced drive, as balanced a drive as we've seen from this Maverick offense, frankly, all season long, which is just a game and a half into the season. 5.5 minutes left here in the third quarter, and the Mavericks threatening from the Coyote 15-yard line. Ball on the far hash mark. Cruz is in the shotgun, moves the blocker to the right side of the line. The handoff to that side is to Hurtado, and Hurtado lowers his head before getting to the 10. He'll be dropped at the 11, a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Mavericks. And again, this offense showing a little variety. Cruz on the ground, Cruz over the air, and Hurtado on the ground has been able to get the Mavericks here just outside the 10-yard line in Coyote territory. Under 5 minutes left now in the third quarter. Cruz in the shotgun with 2 receivers to the near side, ball on the far hash mark. This time the blocker goes to the left side of the line. Cruz looking to run the ball himself, has blockers in front of him, turns a corner at the 10, and is pushed out of bounds on the near sideline at the 7-yard line. Another 4 yards on that carry. And it's a 3rd and 2 now coming up for the Mavericks from the 7-yard line in Coyote territory with 4:39 left. The clock keeps stopping as the runners go out of bounds here. It's been a very seasonably hot couple of days here in Maverick County. They're going to step something off against the Mavericks. And this penalty, a block in the back on Cruz's run, will move the ball all the way back to the 16-yard line. And so with 4:39 left in the third quarter, the Mavericks now have a 2nd and 11 to go. Cruz in the shotgun, ball on the near hash mark. Again, Cruz rolls right, looking downfield. Here comes the defensive pressure. Lets the ball go. Cruz, Rojas is in the area, and a touchdown for Jaime Rojas. Caught about 5 yards deep in the end zone on the far sideline. And we've got a man down over on the far side of the field. Cruz took a huge hit as he released that ball. But a very impressive 16-yard touchdown strike from Juan Cruz to Jaime Rojas. Gives the Mavericks 6 more points. For the meantime, 34-13 is the score with a Maverick point after attempt by Kevin Sugaki coming up. Well, you've got to hand it to Juan Cruz Jr., who's coming off the field a little shaken up. He stood there, and he knew that defensive pressure was coming, and he was able to get that ball off. Not only that, but able to spot Jaime Rojas again with not much room left before running out of bounds, about 5 yards deep. And that Cruz to Rojas connection is paying dividends for the Mavericks here today. Here's a point after attempt by Kevin Sugaki. That kick is up, and it is good. That gives the Mavericks 14 points. 34-14 now is the score. An impressive 10-play, 60-yard drive by the Mavericks, 62-yard drive by the Mavericks gets them 7 more points. 34-14 now is a Coyote lead. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Here comes the kickoff from Kevin Sugaki after that 16-yard touchdown strike from Juan Cruz Jr. to Jaime Rojas. Short kick. It'll be fair, caught at the 26-yard line by Joseph Pineda for the Coyotes. And that long drive for the Mavericks, a drive that started at their own 38-yard line, 10-yard drive that ended in a touchdown, does a couple of things. Obviously, it puts points on the board, but more importantly, it keeps the ball away from the Coyote offense, which has been on a tear since late in the first half. The Coyotes will start here at the 26 with 4:32 left in the third quarter. Jet Flores in the game still at quarterback. Rolling right, he's going to keep it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30-yard line. A gain of 4 yards on the quarterback carry. It's going to be a 2nd and 4 now coming up. .408 left in the third quarter. And the line of scrimmage is the 30. Flores will have 2 receivers over to the left side of the formation. Ball's on the near hash mark. And he'll have a receiver down here on the near side. Now there's a flag on the play. There's still 6 seconds left on the play clock. And there's a bunch of offensive linemen pointing at Maverick defenders. Again, this was before the snap, so a pre-snap penalty. It's a false start on the Coyotes. And I think what they were trying to say offensively was that the Mavericks had somehow baited them or made some kind of noise to pull them offsides or to make the move pre-snap. The ball is now at the 25 after that penalty. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Coyotes. Here's a extended handoff to Rocky Duran, and the Maverick defense is on him, unable to turn the corner as he was trying on the far side of the field, and he'll be brought down by a bunch of Maverick defenders at the 21-yard line. Again, a loss of 4 yards on the carry for Duran. I want to say hi to Christian and Sonia Rodriguez listening in to us on our Eagle Pass Sports Central Facebook page. And also find us on our Eagle Pass Sports Central YouTube channel. 3:09 left here in the third quarter. Ball in the far hash mark. Flores in the shotgun, has 3 receivers here to the near side. That's where he will roll out. Here comes the defensive pressure. Manages to get free. The ball just overthrown, intended for Granados down here at about the 42-yard line. There was a Maverick defender in the area, but if that ball had been just a little lower, Granados would have been in business. We've seen him do that once already in this ball game. So on the incompletion, it brings up a 4th down. And the Coyotes will punt. Jaime Rojas awaits this punt at the 45-yard line. Punt is on its way. It's a short one, but it takes a good Coyote bounce before finally rolling out of bounds here on the near sideline at the Maverick 44-yard line. But the Maverick defense is held, made them punt. Now the Maverick offense comes out from their own 44 with still 2:49 left in the third quarter. And the Mavericks can make it a game here if they show the same versatility and diversification that they showed in their last drive, spreading the ball around, moving Cruz around. More importantly, that movable pocket has really helped Juan Cruz in the second half as they've rolled him out and he's been able to get passes to Jaime Rojas, and then, of course, on the ground using his own legs. Juan Cruz, who was hurt after that last touchdown pass, is back on the field. He's got Edward Hurtado on his right in the backfield. And 2 receivers over to the top side of the formation. Here comes the corner blitz. Quick pass caught by Rojas at the 46. And Rojas heads upfield and over to the far sideline. Pushed out of bounds finally at the 45-yard line. But just like that, the Mavericks have a first down, and they are in Coyote territory. And this is the kind of offensive rhythm that's been missing from this Maverick offense for the first game and a half of the season. But they seem to have found something here is, again, moving Cruz in the pocket, sprinting him mostly to his right, which is his strong side. Cruz is a right-handed quarterback, but they've got to hurry here if they're going to beat this play clock, and they've got to get this snap off. 2 seconds left. They do get the snap off. This time Cruz rolls to his left, and that pass is tipped and incomplete, intended for Rojas this time here to the near sideline, tipped by the linebacker Cord Williamson, who was there in the area. And on that incompletion, it's a 2nd and 10 from the Coyote 45. Again, in this circumstance, in this part of the field, you would think that this is 4-down territory for the Maverick offense. Cruz is going to move Hurtado to his left in the backfield. There's a blocker right behind the line. Cruz will take that himself, and he slides down at the 45-yard line. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 now for the Mavericks. Again, you're in a part of the field where maybe on 3rd down you get 6 or 7 yards, and you make it a 4th and manageable, a 4th and 2, 4th and 3. You really need to, in this part of the field, I think about going for it on 4th down. So the goal here is don't try to get all 10 yards at once. Maybe get yourself 6 or 7 yards and then live to fight on 4th down. You can tell the Coyotes are coming. Here's the defensive pressure. Juan Cruz moving over to his right. Boy, lots of contact over on the far side. The intended receiver was Kevin Sugaki, and he had a man all over his back on the far sideline, was unable to come up with the catch, and it looks like the Mavericks will punt from here. And again, the attempt here, after having not gained any yardage on 3rd and 10, is to now maybe you pin the Coyotes deep in their own territory, the way the Coyotes did to the Mavericks that led to their first score of the game. And maybe you flip the field and you get your offense back the ball in good field position. But in order for that to happen, the Maverick defense has to come up big on the Coyote side of the field. A minute 52 left in the 3rd quarter. Sugaki is back to receive the snap over his head. He's going to have to be able to pick it up at the 30. Now he's going to try to run with it, and he's going to be brought down at the 32-yard line. And just as the Mavericks were set to pin the Coyotes deep, a high snap that Sugaki can't bring down. He's got to chase after it. And as he picks it up and is running here to the near sideline, trying to think of something, still trying to get a punt off, he's brought down by the Coyote coverage team. And now the Coyotes are in business deep in Maverick territory at the 33-yard line. A minute 43 left in the 3rd quarter. From the 34 go the Coyotes. Man in motion. Ball on the near hash mark. Flores awaits the snap. He'll take it there. Roll to his left. Sets up. Lets the pass go. He's got a receiver in the area. And it seems to me like now the flags come out on a pass interference call when they should have really come out about 2 plays ago on that pass that Kevin Sugaki was unable to come up with. But regardless, this is going to be a pass interference against the Mavericks. Number 6, Aiden Gonzalez, senior wide receiver, was in the end zone awaiting that pass from Flores, and he got caught up with the defender over there, and it's going to cost the Mavericks some penalty yardage here as they will step this in the direction of the Maverick end zone. From the 33 to the 18-yard line after that penalty, or it'll be a 1st down for the Coyotes as the 3rd quarter winds down. A minute 36 left. Clock stops on the incompletion and the penalty. Here's a quick shovel pass to the man coming in motion across the formation. That's Rocky Duran. And the Maverick defense does a good job of holding Duran up at the 15-yard line and not allowing him to get any further. They'll mark Duran down at the 16, a gain of only 2 yards there. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Coyotes. Ball will be on the near hash mark. And again, a minute 22 left here in the 3rd quarter. They've stopped the clock because there is an injured Maverick down on the field at about the 22-yard line. They're going to take a look at that young man. We're going to step away momentarily. 34-14 is the Coyote lead over the Mavericks. There's a hold call against the Coyotes after that play, and so that sets the ball back to the 26. 10 yards on the penalty. It will be first and about 16 or 17 from there. There goes the pass into the end zone. This time it's caught by Aiden Gonzalez, who streaked past double coverage. And it's a 26-yard touchdown pass from Matt Flores to Aiden Gonzalez. That's his first touchdown of the game. That one comes with 1:04 left in the third quarter. A 26-yard touchdown strike makes the score momentarily 40-14 in favor of the Coyotes. On for the point after attempt will be Diego Marin. High snap. The kick is on its way, though, after a good hold. And the point after attempt is good. That makes the score Coyotes 41, Mavericks 14. With 1:04 left in the third quarter. We'll be right back. Here is the kickoff after that touchdown. Gets past Bobby Cabrera. He's able to pick it up at about the 14-yard line, out trying to weave his way through the Coyote coverage team. And Cabrera is brought down as he crosses the 25 at the 26-yard line. The Mavericks will start from there with 56 seconds left in the third quarter. 41-14 is the Coyote lead. Ball is on the near hash mark at the 26-yard line. Juan Cruz Jr. remains in the game for the Mavericks. .56 seconds left in the third quarter. Mavericks trying to strike again. They've scored one touchdown in the second half. Here's a huge hole opening up for Edward Hurtado right up the middle of the defense, right up this left hash mark. And Hurtado gets the Mavericks a first down at the 36-yard line. 10 yards on the carry for Hurtado. 46 seconds and counting here before the end of the third quarter. Ball remains on the near hash mark. Cruz in the shotgun with two receivers on either side of the formation. He'll put a man in motion over to the top side. Here is the snap. The handoff again to Hurtado. Up the middle again. He goes still on his feet as he crosses the 40. Stiff arms a man at the 44 and then moves the pile forward into Coyote territory. Inside the 50 at the 48-yard line. A great, tough run by Eddie Hurtado to start this drive here late in the third quarter. I don't think the Mavericks are going to run another play before the end of the third quarter. And so we will go to the final quarter of play with the score. Coyotes 41, Mavericks 14. We'll take a quick break and step right back. As we start the fourth quarter, the ball is on the 48-yard line in Coyote territory. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks. Ball on the far hash mark. Mavericks now moving from left to right. Here comes the blitz. Quick pass to Kevin Sugaki. Caught at midfield. Goes north and south. Stiff arms man at the 40. And is finally brought down at the 39-yard line, which was the line to get for a first down. We'll see if they're going to measure this. He looks to be maybe a couple of inches shy. It's second and about half a yard at the 39-yard line. Sugaki did a good job there of making that catch and then weaving his way around the Coyote defense. Sugaki split out wide right again with Rojas in that slot position. Rojas now moves to the slot position on the left, and the handoff is to Hurtado, who's got room right up the middle. He goes. He gets tripped up and brought down as he nears the 25 to the 26-yard line. 23-yard run, a 13-yard run for Eddie Hurtado, who's running with purpose here in the second half, gobbling up yards against that Coyote defense. 11 minutes left in the ball game, and the Mavericks trying to make this a close score by putting 6 more points up on the board. Man in motion here to the near side. Handoff again to Hurtado, who's got a big hole on the left side of the line. Bounces left now, nears the 10-yard line, and is brought down at the 11. And the Mavericks have found something here in the form of Eddie Hurtado running out of the backfield. The Mavericks can still get a first down at the 1. It's 1st and 10 at the 11. Ball on the far side. The Mavericks threatening to score for the second time in this half. Cruz is in the shotgun with Hurtado next to him. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Here comes Rojas now to the top side in that slot. Again, the handoff to Hurtado, who stutter steps in the backfield and lunges forward for a gain of a yard to the 10. 2nd and 9 coming up now for the Mavericks. 10:07 left here in the third quarter. Some scores from around Region 4 in 6A. Cedar Park, Vista Ridge tied up with Austin Bowie at halftime, 14 all. Of course, most games will be happening this weekend. Brandeis is beating Sotomayor late in the fourth quarter, 24-17, up in San Antonio. Brennan beating Smithson Valley 23-21. I think most of us picked Smithson Valley in the prediction show. Here's a quarterback keeper by Cruz. Wasn't able to get much as they strung him out over to the far sideline. They're going to make him lose a yard to the 12, a couple of yards to the 12, and it's going to be a 3rd and about 11 now for the Mavericks. Of course, Taft will come in here tomorrow to face the Eagles. Eagle Pass Sports Central, Morris Lipson and Ruben Valadez will be alongside with you tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock kickoff for that game. Here's Cruz rolling to his right, evades pressure, lets the pass go, and it's nearly caught but batted down in the end zone. The pass intended there for Angel Espinosa, and now on 4th and 12 from the 12-yard line. Fourth and 11 or so, you would think the Maverick offense is going to stay on the field as they need the points here with 9:22 left in the ball game. Round Rock Stony Point beating Buda Johnson 17-14. Pflugerville Weiss beating San Marcos 16-8 late in that ball game. It's a penalty against the Mavericks. Actually, a penalty against the Coyotes that moves this ball. Well, there's a flag on the field, but I don't see any movement in the line of scrimmage or the ball. And so the Mavericks will come to the 12-yard line on a 4th and long. The line to reach for a first down is the 1. Cruz in the shotgun. Here comes the pressure. He's got to get rid of it, and it is incomplete. Jaime Rojas had it in his grasp about a yard deep in the end zone, but Derek Terrazas, the man with the interception in the first half, was right there to bat that ball away from Rojas' hands, and the Mavericks come up empty deep in Coyote territory. The Coyotes will take over deep in their own territory with the ball now at the 12-yard line. 9:18 left in this ball game. Here's one from both the Mavericks and the Eagles districts. Nixon beating LBJ 10-7. Here's a quarterback keeper by Jet Flores. Right up the middle of the formation. He'll get a couple of yards to the 15. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Coyotes. Boy, Bernie and Laredo United all lucked up at 28 with about 6 minutes left in the first quarter, in the fourth quarter there, down in Laredo. That'll be interesting to see. At halftime, Edinburgh Economides leads Brownsville Porter 37-14. And Brownsville Rivera beating Edinburgh North, or Edinburgh North beating Brownsville Rivera 37-21. We'll get you some scores from around the Mavericks district, for the Mavericks region. Here's a little counter to the running back. I don't know if this is still Rocky Duran or not. It's actually Ivan Martinez, who's only touched the ball a couple of times, but Martinez is going to have to go. He's actually dropped there. I saw Martinez kind of hobbling and headed towards the far sideline, but he's on the ground at about the 17-yard line or so. And as the athletic trainers take a look at him, we'll step away real quick and be right back. Wow. 8:13 left in the ball game. 3rd and 3 for the Coyotes. Here's an end around, and the Coyotes are going to come up short as the man with the football, Aiden Gonzalez, gets only to the 20, the man who caught the touchdown a little while ago. And the Coyotes will come out and punt this ball off. Jaime Rojas will be awaiting this punt at about midfield. Some scores from 5A Division I. That punt goes over the punter's head. He's got to pick it up in the end zone. Now he's got to run out unless it's, or it'll be a safety. Either way, the Mavericks are going to have very good field position at the Coyote 1-yard line as that snap went over the head of the punter. And the Coyotes are just lucky that that ball didn't go out of the back of the end zone. It would have been a safety. The punter, you got to give him credit, was able to pick that up about 8 yards deep in the end zone, come to this near side of the field, and just barely was able to leave the end line before being brought down at the 1. But the Mavericks are in business, starting at the 1-yard line in Coyote territory with 7:17 left in the ball game. Cruz in the shotgun with a blocker in front of him on the right side of the line. He's going to hand it off to Hurtado. Hurtado reaches in for the touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown dive by Edward Hurtado. Gets the Mavericks 6 more points with 7:12 showing on the clock here in the fourth quarter, and Kevin Sugaki will come on for the point after attempt. It's got to feel good for these Mavericks to get some points on the board in what's been a tough game and be able to come out of here with something positive, some optimism as they look forward to their district season. The kick is up, and it is good from Sugaki, and the score now, Coyotes 41, Mavericks 21, with 7:12 left in the ball game. We're going to step away and be right back. Sugaki will kick off after that 1-yard touchdown run by Edward Hurtado. Well earned, by the way. He's really been the workhorse for the Mavericks here, particularly in the second half. So good to see Eddie Hurtado get his touchdown here before the end of the ball game. Kick is on its way, and Gonzalez will field that at about the 15-yard line here near the hash mark, and he's got a blocker in front of him, cuts into the middle of the field now at the 40-45 at midfield, still on his feet. And Gonzalez finally brought down from behind, but well in Maverick territory at the 44-yard line before he is brought down. They're going to mark it right at the 45, it looks like. The Coyotes will start in Maverick territory at the 45 with 7:02 left here in the ball game. LBJ now leading Nixon 14-10 late in the fourth quarter. South San beating Harlandale 17-12 over in San Antonio. Jet Flores still in the game at quarterback. Delayed blitz, lets the pass go. He's got Granados open and in for the touchdown with an over-the-shoulder catch is Diego Granados, a 45-yard touchdown strike, a one-play 45-yard drive that ends in a touchdown with 6:53 left in the ball game. And you get a sense that these Coyotes do not want to let the Mavericks even sniff a comeback. Every time the Mavericks have been able to put points on the board in the second half, the Coyotes have been able to come back and match them point for point. Diego Marin is on for the point after attempt now. The kick is no good, off to the right, and not enough distance. The score now is Coyotes 47, Mavericks 21, with 6:53 left in the ball game. We're going to step away, and we'll be right back. Luis de la Cruz Reina with the kickoff. It'll be fielded by Rojas over on the far hash mark at about the 15-yard line. Comes all the way down here toward the near sideline and is tripped up as he crosses the 20 to the 22-yard line. That's where the Mavericks will start on their side of the field with 6:45 left in the ball game. And again, we talked about it before. Out of 5 possessions in this second half for the Coyotes, they've scored touchdowns in 3 out of those 5 possessions. The Mavericks have scored twice in the second half, but again, just has not been enough to catch up to the Coyotes. Rojas in motion, ball on the near hash mark at the 22-yard line. The handoff is to Hurtado, who gets stood up near the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a yard to the 23, where it'll be 2nd and 9 now for the Mavericks with 6.5 minutes or so left here in the ball game. Again, the Taft Raiders come into town tomorrow to face the Eagles. Morris Lipson and I will be here for that call. 7 o'clock kickoff here at Kozel Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. Here's the snap. Cruz steps back, lets the pass go, and it's intercepted at the 38-yard line. Number 32 with the interception. We don't have him on our roster, but that is the second pick of the game for this Coyote defense. Cruz was looking for Jaime Rojas there at about the 40, and number 32 just stepped right inside of that route and was able to get that interception. So on the turnover, the 3rd of the ball game. Now the Coyotes will take over in Maverick territory at the 45, right around where they started the last drive, where they needed only one play on a 45-yard touchdown strike. We'll see if they're still going through the air. Jet Flores is still, no, this is a new quarterback now and a new running back. So the Coyotes have now put in their second stringers here late in the game. Our new quarterback is number 9, Joseph Pineda. That handoff was to number 26, Ivan Martinez. And Martinez was able to get a couple of yards into the teeth of the Maverick defense at the 37. It'll be a 2nd and 8 now for the Coyotes. Ball on the far hash mark. Pineda will hand off. And the running back gets maybe a yard. That's actually Pineda with the keeper. Mark him down at the 35. At the 31. A 6-yard gain on the quarterback keeper. And it'll be 3rd and 2. Coyotes looking to convert late in the game here. Again, a keeper by Pineda is looking for room on the right side of the line, and the Maverick defense is going to stand him up and not allow him to go anywhere. Forward progress is to the line of scrimmage, the 31, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 2 now, and we'll see if the Coyotes elect to stay on the ground. There is a flag down here at the 30-yard line on the near side of the field. Over in Philly, there's a weather delay between the Cowboys and the Eagles. And I might make it home in time to see the end of this game after all. I'm going to step this off against the Coyotes. The ball ends up at the 36 on a 5-yard penalty. And they'll replay 3rd down. 3rd down and about 6 from there. 3rd down and 7 or so. Pineda under center this time with 2 receivers on either side of the formation. I'll take the ball, and that would have been a long tush push. That would have been about a 7-yard tush push if they would have been able to do that. But Pineda gets only a couple of yards to the 35. And that brings up 4th down. And the Mavericks have called a timeout now. Their first of the second half. And it'll be interesting to see what the Coyotes do on offense here when we come back to see if they're going to attempt to convert this 4th and about 6, or whether they will punt from this part of the field and really try to pin the Mavericks deep. Again, our schedule for you tomorrow, we are here at Koza Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium for that game between the Taft Raiders and the Eagles. The following week, the Eagles are open on September 11th and 12th, and the Mavericks welcome in the Southwest Legacy Titans for their first district game of the season. Here's number 2, Jared Martinez, the short yardage quarterback, or snap taker at least, for the Coyotes, and he's able to get the Coyotes a first down at the 26-yard line. Martinez scored 2 touchdowns on those short yardage runs. They needed him to get more this time, about 7, but he's able to do that, and the Coyotes have a fresh set of downs now at the 26. 3:44 left in the ball game. The Mavericks will open up their district season next week here at Coastal Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium against the visiting Legacy Titans. There's a tight formation again. Direct snap to number 28. And he will take the ball near the 10-yard line. That is Andrew Martinez. That's his first carry of the ball game. And Martinez gets to the 12. And they'll move the chains from there for the Coyotes. Clock ticking down now. 3 minutes left to the end of the game. And, of course, the Coyotes with no particular hurry to get the ball snapped here. Again, Andrew Martinez awaits the snap. Runs to the right side of the line. And he'll get stood up by the Maverick defense as he comes inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A gain of 3 yards on the keeper there. 2.5 minutes left now in the ball game as the Coyotes trying to just grind out this clock with their 47-21 lead late in this game. The Mavericks will continue to look for their first victory of the season. Coyotes are going to wait till this play clock runs down to about 1 second, and then they will call a timeout. We will take that along with them. It's actually no need to call a timeout. It's a 2-minute timeout, new this year for Texas high school football. 47-21 is the score in favor of the Coyotes. We're going to take a break and be right back. Here is a quarterback sneak that gets the ball to the 6-yard line. 3 more yards there. And we want to thank those of you listening, even Diesel, listening to us out in the oil fields of West Texas. Thank you so much for joining us on Eagle Pass Sports Central on our YouTube page. Those of you also that watch along and listen to our prediction show, we always have fun at those. We'll be back with the prediction show next week, right back at Brown Chevrolet of Eagle Pass with our friend Alan Ortiz there. And again, as the play clock nears 1 second, the Coyotes will call another timeout. And with 1:12 left, they will huddle up and probably run maybe 1 or 2 more plays. And that will be the end of the ball game. Again, tomorrow we will be here. The Taft Raiders come here to Cozel Foster Memorial Stadium to meet the Eagles in what's become a really dicey rivalry the past 2 or 3 years, as Taft and Eagle Pass have become heated rivals, not only seeing themselves in the playoffs, but during the regular season, home and home. Those have been very tough, hard-fought games for both the Taft Raiders and the Eagles. On 3rd and 5 now with 1:12. Andrew Martinez will await this snap. It goes to him, and he will take a knee. The clock now will keep rolling, as technically 4th down will be coming up. But one more snap, and that should be it. We've got a timeout called with a minute's left. The Mavericks have called a timeout in anticipation of maybe getting the ball back after the Coyotes take a knee on 4th down. As we look forward to next week, the Mavericks will start their district season. The Legacy Titans will come into Cozel Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium, and things get real for the Mavericks real quick as the wins need to start piling up in what's a very large 9-team district where it's very hard to make the playoffs. We're all over the place in that district, some in San Antonio, some in Laredo. Medina Valley is down in the Eagles district, but that district that the Mavericks are in is certainly widespread. One team from Northside ISD, actually, Jay, is in that district along with the teams from the LISD, the Laredo ISD. And here is a kick that is good. A 26-yard field goal from Marin, and that makes the score 50-21. In favor of the Coyotes with 55 seconds left on the clock. As we mentioned to you, the Mavericks have quite the work cut out for them in their district. They've got the 3 Laredo ISD schools. That's Nixon, Cigarroa, and Martin. They've got John Jay High School from the north side. They've got the 2 Southwest ISD schools, Southwest and Southwest Legacy. And then they've got South San and Southside in that district. So, and of course, the Mavericks. So a big district for the Mavericks to make some noise in. And that opportunity starts for them next week as the Legacy Titans come in for the start of district play. 55 seconds showing on the clock here at the stadium. The Coyotes have just kicked a 26-yard field goal to get them a half a honey, 50 points. 50-21 is the score, and the kickoff is on its way. High kickoff, fair caught at the 25-yard line. Caught there by Julian Perez. And the Maverick offense will come out for perhaps 1, maybe 2 more plays. They do have 2 timeouts left. with 55 seconds remaining in the ball game, and we'll see what head coach René Ramirez elects to do here. Ball is on the near hash mark at the 25-yard line. We still see the Mavericks starters on offense out on the field. Cruz still in the ball game. Loads to throw, puts the ball down, now lets the pass go. And there were two Maverick receivers in the same area who basically kind of interfered against each other. You had Jaime Rojas and Kevin Sugaki both waiting for the ball, and Rojas batted that ball away from a waiting Kevin Sugaki's arms. 46 seconds left now, 2nd and 10 for the Mavericks. There is a flag here at about the 26-yard line, and that might be against the Mavericks. And it actually goes against the Coyotes. So that will move the ball in the direction of the Coyote end zone. They're going to put that down at the 40. And with 46 seconds and 2 timeouts left, the Mavericks will come to the line of scrimmage. Juan Cruz from the 40-yard line into shotgun, since 2 receivers over to the top of the formation and 2 here to the near side. Dropping back to pass is Cruz. That pass is through the hands of the intended receiver, Kevin Sugaki, down here on the near sideline. A pass that was headed out of bounds. Sugaki put his hands up to try to stab at that throw, and it is incomplete. The clock stops with 41 seconds. Ball is at the 40. Cruz awaits the snap, drops back, quick pass, caught by Sugaki at the 46-yard line, taken out of bounds. They're actually going to wind the clock. I guess Sugaki came inbounds. 30 seconds now left. We'll see if the Mavericks call a timeout here, or they'll just gather quickly to get one more play off before the end of the game. 20 seconds showing on the clock. The Maverick offense will come quickly to the line of scrimmage, the 46. Cruz in the shotgun. Takes a snap. It's a low one. He's got to pick it up off the ground. Rolls right, looking for someone streaking downfield. Rojas is in the area, and he overthrows him at about the 25-yard line. That pass goes out of bounds over on the near sideline. And so the clock stops with 7 seconds left. The Mavericks have a 4th and 4 here. The offense will no doubt stay on the field for this 4th down play. And we will see, I suspect, how far Juan Cruz Jr. can heave this ball down the field on what will, more than likely, barring a defensive penalty, be the last play of the game. Ball is at the 46-yard line on the near hash mark. Cruz into shotgun. Eddie Hurtado, who has a touchdown in this game, over to his left. They're going to move Cruz over to his left. He's looking downfield. Caught by Rojas at the 38. There is the final buzzer, and Rojas is brought down at the 33-yard line, but that is the ball game. Final score from here, Coyotes 50, Mavericks 21. The Mavericks record goes to 0-2 in this early season, and again, whatever adjustments need to be made in a hurry, because the Legacy Titans come in next week right here against the Mavericks for the first game of district play. We want to thank our sponsors here on Eagle Pass Sports Central throughout the year for our prediction shows and for our games. Ancita Ford of Eagle Pass, Brown Chevrolet of Eagle Pass, State Representative Eddie Morales and Choch's Barbecue for allowing us to bring you these broadcasts. And thank you for joining us on the Eagle Pass Sports Central YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. We'll see you tomorrow night right back here at Cozumel Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium for 7 o'clock kickoff in what should be a heck of a game tomorrow between the Taft Raiders and the Eagle Pass Eagles. 50-21 final score here from Cozumel Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. For my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., and our audio engineer, Cristina Valadez, we want to thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.